There's three.
So
three people on the committee, two's the quorum. So you guys, and obviously there's no majority unless you both agree. So if you disagree, you table it, I guess. I'm gonna check our YouTube. We got 4 people watching already. They're excited. You have a good weekend, Jane? I'll tell everybody. Yes. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Good?
Yep.
Morning today, September 8, 2025. Welcome to the Troy Community Land Bank A&D Committee meeting. We'll start with call to order and roll call. Andrew Cooper.
Here.
Jamie Mager here. Also in attendance is Brad Lewis. Absent from the committee is Brian Barker. We'll start off with an approval of our meeting minutes from August 4th.
I have a motion to approve.
And I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. On the agenda today for discussion is applications to purchase property 785 as well as 3209, 32-11. I'm sorry, 3209-3211 7th Avenue. We'll start with 785.
Yeah.
So we're gonna refer to people or to applicants by the letter ID.
Cool.
That's
I
what
think
the
that's
column
fair.
added. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was just thinking that, and I was like, oh look, there's a.
Yeah, it's just it's respectful to them.
Yeah, exactly.
One question, Brad.
Yeah.
One of these was an applicant last time, correct?
Okay, so for 785.
For 785.
B was waiting on the deposit
Check. That's what I thought.
the deposit in the contract, and she dropped that off. So now it's a complete application, but we tabled it last time because it was, they had
It wasn't complete.
Yes.
Both applicants were technically incomplete.
Yeah, because and then the person from last time, there was 2 applicants. The gentleman that put an application and didn't want to work with our. Yeah, he had an attorney thing, and then he said he wasn't interested.
Okay.
So we took him out, but we got a new applicant.
Okay.
There's one name there, but it's actually 3 individuals that are purchasing together. And, obviously A and B have the same offer number. But the amount they're projecting putting in is different. But I think it tells 2 different stories if I'm to understand it correctly. Well, first off, applicant B is showing in their application, I'm gonna grab it here, that they're investing $200,000 into the building, but they're only, 256 plus the $36,000 purchase, because the purchase is the same, and I think both want to do the same thing, fix and hold for rent. But applicant B is showing around on their income around $150,000 available for the 256 income level that they're looking, or 256 plus 36, so almost 290. So they're showing kind of half the money.
I noticed we don't have any statements.
We have no statements. They just have the three bank accounts they listed. So I didn't say, hey, please send me your statements, truthfully, So, the best I can do, I kind of looked up both of them and their background. And so that's why I had this Albany County Land Bank thing, because I thought it was interesting that this person had purchased 113 Lancaster Street, the hose. So, in my back from Albany Land Bank right here, 2023.
Yep.
And so I went and looked, there's the Albany Land Bank, what it used to look like, 113 Lancaster. And now this is their apartment finished. Now this person's a contractor, which is why their investment amount would be lower.
I was gonna say, are they doing the
right?
Labor costs?
If you don't pay yourself,
yeah, right.
It's different than.
So they have a history with doing land bank properties.
Yeah, I mean this is the work that they put in for Lancaster Street and all the
Yep.
hose.
Okay.
Now on the flip side, you have letter B, she, has talked about the work she's done in the city as a, real estate professional and a consultant. So she has also has some background in that.
In the city of Troy.
She did mention some work in the city of Troy. I'm going to double check exactly so I give you the exact information. It's not like we have a ton on the docket, so. It's too bad the price is indifferent.
You said that, yeah. Right.
Make it a little easier. She doesn't have any properties in the city.
Well, yeah, it says no, on here it has for other properties. She has no
Right,
other properties, right? This other applicant A says yes,
obviously
not
Lancaster there for him.
Yeah.
Personally manage and lease the property, work with Trip to secure affordable housing tenants. I'm a licensed real estate agent and experiencing managing residential rentals. It says it currently manage 2 properties in Cohoes. So they also have property in Cohoes. And for all maintenance and repairs, I work with a general contractor. And then I'm fully committed to maintaining a high quality, stable housing environment. So, but there was something in here, I'm pretty sure that they have talked about the work they've done in, I think it's the last page actually. I remember a good narrative about it. Real estate developer, strong focus on housing throughout the Capital District. 5 years experience in real estate construction management design, real estate license. The first property I worked on was a mixed-use historic structure on River Street in Troy, where I served as both construction manager and designer. I'm currently consulting with the developers of the Trojan, a formal hotel being converted into affordable housing. So, the experience with HCR and different things, lists the same general contractor they plan to work with. They split their time between Hudson and Brooklyn, where they were raised. And the other individual is out of Half Moon. So I think they both seem to have ties to the area. And of course, it looks like they both have properties in Cohoes. And I think the hardest thing for you guys is determining which ones.
You said they did 1 or 2.
Who did 2?
Applicant A. You Lancaster or just Lancaster?
I didn't see anything past Lancaster, of course. That's the kind of the thing.
I only question, when you pulled up the screen, I saw another address underneath it. I don't know if that was.
This was.
So this is something totally separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only one I just looked up the name because they said they mentioned it. So I said it had to be in the meeting minutes.
I'm sorry. I see the name there. I thought when you were looking up this entity and those 3 lines.
Oh, I should correct myself here. Because now I'm looking at this, I do see the bank statements for this individual. So.
For A?
For A, yeah, so.
So the last column on A that has a name there, is that a financial institution or something, or what?
Oh, no, there's 3 names in there. On their side there.
No.
On the spreadsheet, this last column?
That's their company.
That's their company, yeah, okay. I was like, is that what they plan to do? Because what is that? But I got you.
Yeah, because I looked that up, all 5 stars on Google, so.
That's good.
I would be, because of what just happened with our last, these properties going before us before, right?
Yeah.
And we're back here again today.
Well, 785 is never awarded.
Right. My inclination would be applicant A, because they've had history doing work with a land bank. That is completed. That listing you pulled up is for rent.
It could have been for rent, whatever. I'm not sure when
it was. It was on the market at one time. That's what that is.
Yeah, back to listing, let's see.
That's weird. It says price unknown, but it doesn't say.
Yeah, well, it would, because so the listing was.
Listing, but
820.
those prices are rental prices, so.
Yeah, you can list your apartment on
Yeah.
Zillow
Yeah.
as well as, obviously every address has a placeholder on Zillow where you can see what your estimate is. And so they just must have finished it. Now they're probably looking for their next project. I don't know.
Does anything jump out at you on the application for A?
So, well, my question is, the investment amounts.
Yeah.
So the investment amount for A, we're saying that's material cost only, essentially, material permits.
I assume.
And then B is more than double that.
Yeah, because I think they're going to treat it like a development,
and
like a
that,
developer.
Either of those numbers, I have no sense of, what it might or should cost either way.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have an opinion about those numbers?
I can tell you from my experience doing these sort of things, it all depends on whether you're going to swing the hammer, or you're going to pay a construction manager to watch the people swing the hammer. And that's the funny part is when we put it out to bid and these things come back to us, we're paying 150 a square foot. I just got an appraisal came back on a property for my personal life, and they said the replacement cost on the house that was appraised is $275 a square foot.
Yeah, that's about what our house is.
We're getting it fixed for the land bank stuff for $150.
Yeah.
But then when if you look at everybody that's got their investment amount and the square footage per square foot, people are anywhere between 25, 50, 25 is real low, but 50 to 100 is what, you can look down the line and see what people are saying they're going to invest, and it's all over the board. And it really does depend on how hands off you're going to be or how hands on you're going to be to the whole thing.
And we don't really know what these people were thinking when A is hands on, obviously.
I believe
they own their own.
That's what their narrative says.
Yeah.
And the narrative tells you they have a construction company. From my experience in that world, you send your guys over to start working on stuff and you sub out what you need to, maybe the plumber and electrical, but otherwise you're doing it all yourself, and it's filling between work, especially over the winter time. Right now, people are looking for wintertime work because most people don't want windows out of their house in the winter.
Yeah,
exactly. It's too cold for that. So my sense is they're more apples to apples in terms of the investment amount. It's just going to cost applicant B more money that they didn't provide financing for.
Yeah.
They didn't show that in their application. And I'll just double check it one more time, but I'm only seeing them show half of that amount in their application, which means they're going to need to figure out where they're going to get the second half from in the meantime. I'm going to double check it though, because obviously with these, there's a lot that come back. So that's the one statement I do have, and I'm just going to look for another statement.
This is for applicant B.
Yeah. And of course, together, they're just under 300,000 is what they're planning to spend. 295.3 I got here. And you can see at the top right, they've only listed two sources of income on their statements. And so that they're going to butt up against that. And I would love to see like how we're going to bridge that. They're going to do it in a year. There's no, in this narrative, the redevelopment plan, it doesn't say how they're going to accomplish it without the extra financing. Yeah, and that's the two listed on their budget there. I always try to tell people that. I say, hey, I need to know how you're going to do it. I don't guide them and tell them. I said I do tell them they should make it so whatever you say you're going to spend, it equals. So.
Right. And that's a pretty big gap to fill with a credit card for your contingency or whatever.
Depends on people.
I mean, you can do it.
There are people with credit cards that go up that high.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. I mean,
you can do it with
line of credit, or
and you can do it with your income too. Like
over time, if you make enough. Yeah,
if you make 100 or 200,000 a year, you could definitely put your all into it, get it to the finish line.
And bringing in on average 30K per month.
So she probably plans.
That's an additional.
So it probably plans to bridge the gap with that.
Yeah. But you don't know what their other expenses are. I mean,
I'm still inclined. My recommendation would be.
yeah, I mean, they seem pretty close to me, and I agree that former experience working with the land bank is good.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have it. Like, I don't feel really strongly about either
Brad,
one.
We don't have to sell this. Correct?
No, I mean, it sounds like the land bank is forced to sell the things.
What was their listing price on this?
35.
35.
So we're both over asking, which is
over
great.
asking.
So, well, okay, that changes my train of thought.
Yeah.
That changed my train of thought. You
Mhm.
can't do that.
Can't do whatever
Oh,
you're thinking.
If somebody's trying to get a discount,
Oh, right, then
then you
you're
just
Yeah.
say no. 'Cause-
Right.
There's no, that goes against what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
If we put it out there for a price and we got our price, then.
yeah,
And it's not like, yeah, the problem you butt up against is you have two people that potentially could do it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's, and above asking. And so you're not,
yeah, we're not sacrificing anything.
it's just a hard decision.
Yeah.
They're really neck and neck. And that's gonna be, the more quality developers we have, you just gotta go, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to make the recommendation to the full board to list 785 River Street to applicant A.
So yeah, my only other additional thought before I wait. So you make a motion, I second that motion.
Yeah.
My additional thought is, may as well wish for what we wish for. It'd be nice if the other applicant would stick around, find another property,
Yeah.
And I would, and over time, I don't know if it's realistic to keep track of that, or how much to keep track of that kind of thing, is if we have two viable, competitive applicants, and then the second one comes back around for something else, then give them a shot. Like, I wouldn't say sell two properties to A and none to B, right? Like,
If they were neck and neck.
yeah, like if this came up again, same kind of scenario. Now, I don't know if it would, or,
I think we've done that with contracts.
Yeah, we've done it with
With
contractors,
our-
yeah, because, if they're all in the community, they're, whatever. That's my only thought. Otherwise, I think I would support A too. Like, I'm just throwing it out there about the, longer term things to think about.
The big picture.
Yeah.
Take
So we
an
vote?
official vote,
Yeah, nothing else, right? All in favor?
All right.
Aye, motion passes. We make a recommendation for 785 to the full board.
And if you guys prefer, we can also bring these both up for discussion to the full board. Tell them these were both the applicants and it was.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, that we at least
With
acknowledge. and say,
Brian
this was a close one and we went with this one, but if,
Yeah.
if people want to hear more
Yeah.
details.
Yeah.
I support that.
Next on, the next property up for discussion is 3209-3211 7th Avenue. And we had 5 applicants. And reviewing this, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Again, applicant A jumped out at me, mainly because of their holdings in Troy. The obvious also is the sticker price, their offer price.
What's our list on this?
This is listed at 75 each or 150,000 for both of them. And I think
For two, right? Because this is 6, right? 3 and
7.
3.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Six
No,
units
6 units.
on 7th
Not 7,
Avenue.
yeah.
And it was the 75. They're technically 2-3 families, which makes it a little easier for planning and zoning, but they're adjoined and they're mirror image. So it's a really attractive project when bundled together.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this one, when we first went out, you guys awarded it for 140,000 the first time through. And that developer backed away because, again, they wanted to act as developer during it. And when you're acting as a developer during the construction phases, I think you find that the profit is made by buying aggressively and also by having a great group of a network of contractors that you work with quite frequently that will keep the costs down, and also getting a good architect to design efficiently. I think those are things that developers can do well, but the numbers have to work, because if you're gonna sit back and make phone calls and text contractors and that sort of stuff, you have to be able to, work all those numbers through some sort of competitive advantage. And the other alternative is somebody who's actively managing an on-site as construction manager or even hammer slinger. So, that's something we always got to consider. The people that are investing a lot less, are they actually, doing things that aren't, are they not paying a GC? In that case, they are GCing, and there's value in that. So all that to say is the first people we awarded to, I believe, wanted to act as developer. They wanted to call the architect handles everything. They call the construction manager, he handles everything. And they make 5, 10, 15, 20%. I'm not sure the number they wanted to, but that was my sense about the reason why the deal fell through, is they really did think it's a large enough project that if we can just make 10% on it, it'd be a nice,
It's worth it, yeah.
it would be a nice, 6 month to a year payday. But then when they realized the risk was there so high that it was a little scary, and they, they started citing sprinkler systems or sewer lines and that sort of stuff. And I said to them, you can use the performance method if you want to, you have 2 egresses there. You could just use 5/8 sheetrock for the fire rating. You might get, if you got a good designer, your architect gets you out of it. And I think they just got cold feet. So that was the story of why we're back to this. And we still have our original 2, which is applicant C and D. They were the backups on the original, but we now got in the other 3 applicants to show up. Obviously, the first 4 are fixed and hold, and the bottom one wants to be an owner occupied.
Anything from code on applicant A?
No, not yet, no. I did bring up the project that they're working on. It's 9 units on Oakwood Avenue here.
That's 82 Oakwood?
Yeah, I drove by, and it's much further along there. So,
82 Oakwood's closer to Hoosick?
Yeah.
That end of Oakwood?
yeah. So obviously the guy, that's what it looked like before. I feel like there was a fire here. I don't know.
I think there
I think there were a couple fires right around there.
That,
I drive by there all the time. I'm like, wait.
that's on the west hand side of the block, Brad?
Yes.
Yeah, there's hardly anything. Well, at the very end, there's
Yeah,
a couple. Yeah.
Let's see if I can.
It's such a delineator there, but it's up the hill from Oakwood, it's pretty nice, and as soon as you cross the street, it gets, not all of it, I mean,
Once you
especially.
come out of your street, if you
Yeah.
take a left out of your street, it's a little hairy. If you go right, it's not.
So this was, I mean, I don't know how it's 9 units there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right?
Is it
But-
deep?
It must be. And it's set back, right?
It's not wide. So, but that's what they're saying, and they've listed holdings in a bunch of other places. So obviously this is 2023. The pictures are much different when I drove by the other day. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've owned this one for quite a while, so we want to see it work. And it's the top 2. I mean, obviously they have the numbers there.
I mean, if we're top 2, right, the top 2 are obvious
I mean,
because of
they're
purchase price.
$70,000 to $80,000 more
Then, yes.
than
Yep.
the third place one, and over 100 from the bottom 2
Correct.
in terms of investment amounts. And then obviously experience wise, I can't speak to applicant B and C, but I think applicant D having properties, I think actually applicant C, I believe they have properties in the city of Troy as well. And,
Yes, C is the one with Benny, D
Yeah.
has one.
but they also are coming at it from the contractor side.
Correct.
And applicant A has a few. Applicant E, the owner occupant, has none. This is their first endeavor. I think that,
I mean, I like the idea, owner occupant, that's always nice, but a 6 unit as a first time seems, I mean, I don't know, what do I know about them, but that's ambitious.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, certainly if the price tag was closer, I mean,
Yeah. Did anything jump out on the application that we should know about for applicant A?
applicant A, not really. They seem pretty, this is what they do. It seems
Anything
like.
from applicant B?
Applicant B, they're from out of town, Monroe,
Monroe's
obviously.
up north, right?
No, Monroe, I think is down 845 Westchester.
Okay.
I just looked them up, I'm not sure, I clicked on the guy's LinkedIn, he's been doing this for a little bit of time, 9 years, 10 years doing this. There was something, he's either buying a tax lien or he was part of it, but when I click that, I can't search it. So I'm like looking for it down below, like, where is this a tax lien he bought or was he included in the tax lien? And so since
it's just a big long document.
yeah, there's names and I think you can buy the tax liens. I was just looking for them and I couldn't find why the name showed up in the search, but these might be the bidders here. He might be a purchaser of tax liens, which is, I'd rather say that he's a purchaser rather than give the idea that he's a person that didn't pay his taxes. It just seems like if he's buying, yeah, there he is. He's a purchaser of tax liens down in Sullivan County, so I think that the guy must have experience doing it, otherwise he wouldn't have both of these companies there. So I don't think he's disingenuous. He came really strong with his application in terms of the purchase amount.
Yeah, the total investment is
The lowest one, yeah. But if it fits the same bill with applicant D in terms of the sweat equity theory.
Yeah, that I just feel like I don't have an issue with that. I mean, I appreciate that. There's more risk because you don't know what skills they have or what contacts they have or what,
Yeah, you don't drive by their project.
Yeah.
You can't go from this meeting to one of their sites and see what they're doing, which is what you can with applicant A.
If we were to recommend applicant A to the full board.
Yep.
In the interim, can you check with code to see if?
I can go harder on it.
That's what's good about local
Yeah,
owners. You can see what.
So when I go to code, I said, do you know this name? They look it up, but when you give them all the names, they're looking as, they're doing their job, but they're looking as quickly as they can to make sure, or let you know, this person doesn't speak to me at all, but certainly with the project active at Oakwood Avenue, we can double check it. Yeah.
That would be the direction I'm leaning, as long as.
They pulled all the permits, haven't played games with Oakwood Avenue.
If we don't have any, if code doesn't have a history with them, that is glaring, right? I mean, just because code might have a hiccup with them should not disqualify them. But if it's a glaring trend of hiccups, then I think that should be brought up at the full board meeting before we vote.
Do you want to make a recommendation with the backup bidder in case, or backup few or whatever? I mean, I don't know. Just thinking out loud, because if you do have the glaring thing and A&D has no recommendation because of that, or is your recommendation to bring this to the whole board, which is definitely possible too.
I would do that. Yeah.
If there's a hiccup.
I would rather not, that one stands out to me. Applicant A stands out to me because they're a local company. They came in strong. They're not trying to beat us up on price. They're giving us our offer.
Yep.
They're putting a substantial investment into it. And they have a current project and they have other holdings in the Troy area. It seems if they got 21 in Troy, this is their wheelhouse.
Yeah, well, and I believe C is upwards of that number as well, but their investments or their purchase price, their offer is 100,000 less.
That's why for me personally, that's my choice. I would rather, if there is a glaring red flag on them, then let the full 10 people voice their opinion.
Then move all applicants if there's a glaring code violation. That's maybe speak your motion. Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to make the recommendation of selling 3209, 3211, 7th Avenue to applicant A to the full board, pending investigation with the city of code building department to see if there are any glaring red flags. And if there are, then to bring all 5 applicants, or the remaining 4 applicants, to the full board. For a vote.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. That motion passes. I think that's it, right, Brad? Any other business other than, right? That's it?
Yeah.
So our next order of business would be to set the next A&D meeting for October 6th. Manager, checking me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's all right. Remember how to work my phone here.
Then we can just reach out to Brian. We can just reach out to Brian and make sure October 6th is good with him.
That works for me.
Yeah, it's funny because we had Labor Day, so we moved it back a week, and then he said he has a work conflict. It's like.
Yeah.
All right, so October 6th will be our next A&D meeting. So the last order of business is a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right.
And that's a wrap.
Done.